What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Brick Brother Podcast. Y'all know we back in. We staying consistent on the content, man, but we got some special hot stuff for y'all. But make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share this video, man, because I don't think anybody want to miss out on it. Let's go.
All right, as we were discussing just a little before, UFC 313 just happened over the weekend. You said you didn't watch all of it, but I'm sure you got to see some of the big moments.
Man, I couldn't lock in, bro. ESPN was bullshitting, dog. So I was trying to watch the fights. Only fights that I got to watch was on the prelims, right? So the prelims was dope. You know what I mean? Had a lot of dope fights on there. Got to see Alex Morono go out there, unfortunately he didn't get the win, whatever, but, got to see a lot of, good fights, happen on the prelims. But unfortunately, yeah, man, I wasn't able to tap in on the pay-per-view. I was trying to call ESPN, help support, but then they didn't put us through a motherfucking podcast with DC and Chael, you know what I'm saying? Talking about oh man, this fight is going to be dope. Alex Pereira, Magomedov. I'm like, yeah, I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro. I'm trying to watch the fight. So unfortunately, man, because technical difficulties, I couldn't watch it. If I had one of them links, you got that link, right? You got that link?
Allegedly, I might know a couple links.
You sent it to my ass so I can watch.
Well, you should have allegedly texted me and said you needed a link. But anyway, UFC 313 over the weekend, we had the first of this year champions who got defeated, with Magomed Ankalaev defeating Alex Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you didn't see it, but you probably can.
Yeah, it's all on the screens, all on the news feeds, bro. People going crazy. But what I heard was, though, it wasn't really the type of fight that everybody was expecting, though, unfortunately. So can you break it down to me? What happened?
Yeah,
bro?
I'll give a good breakdown. So early in the fight, it seemed as if Alex Pereira was sticking to his early game plan of going to the leg kicks early, beating up the calf.
Mm-hmm.
Ankalaev was very patient. He didn't rush and seemed like he was doing more activity with the hands and chasing them down. As the fight went on, it seemed as if Alex Pereira was a bit gun-shy. Ankalaev wasn't really able to get a bunch of takedowns, but he was able to clinch him up. And then in the boxing department, he had a lot of success compared to Alex Pereira.
In the boxing?
Ankalaev. So I think in the first round, Ankalaev, the strike count was a little even, but I would have given it to Pereira. But I don't think Pereira landed one face shot in the first round.
That's crazy. Well, hold on. And with you saying that, you saying he didn't successfully get a takedown? He didn't get a takedown?
No, never got a takedown.
But I heard that Pereira, he took him down. And when one of the last seconds, what happened?
So the bell was about to ring, and Ankalaev is kind of like letting go, and Pereira does sweep him at the last second. But,
do he hit his ass, yes or no?
Yeah, he hit it.
Man, that's takedown, bro. That's crazy.
No cover and wrestling. That's I hate when they do that, actually, when they call things a takedown, no cover. You got to control, but that's just me being a technique. But no, I think it was a little controversy from some people. They thought that Pereira won. But my question is, if Pereira did what he normally does, we see people beat up, damaged. We saw what Khalil looked like after the fight, right?
Man, terrible.
Right? So if you honestly think Pereira won, then either Ankalaev has the greatest chin, he has the toughest skin that we ever seen,
right.
Or Pereira just was a bit tentative.
Now, I got to see the numbers, right? Yet again, I cannot talk about this fight too much because I didn't watch anything, but what about the leg strikes? You wouldn't call that, significant? I feel like a lot of people said he landed a lot of leg kicks and everything.
Ankalaev landed more significant strikes, and most of the significant strikes Pereira landed were to the leg. Pereira landed some jabs. He got a high kick, I think, in the fifth round, and he landed a real good hook, I think, in the fifth round too, but the moments were fleeting. Where Ankalaev honestly had Pereira racked, I want to say it was the second or third round. I don't remember exactly. And then he landed a lot of boxing combinations. He landed, he was going to the body, coming up top, landing 1-2s, landing crossing hooks. Honestly, the reason why I think Pereira lost the fight, he was on the back foot the whole time. He was never advancing. He wasn't really throwing anything. And maybe Pereira thought that Ankalaev was just going to shoot, but he really didn't. He didn't really go to the wrestling to the second and third round, well, really to the third and fourth round. And I think that Ankalaev was very patient. He used his hands. He made Pereira constantly on the back foot. One thing that we know about Alex Pereira, he doesn't necessarily fight, very circuitous. He fights. He fights in a linear fashion, right? And Ankalaev just kept him on his back foot, and whenever he would try to go forward, Ankalaev would just kind of get out the way and go back to the boxing, and Pereira would stick with the kicks. And Ankalaev even would get to the point where, he would time a kick and then land a good cross over the top, and I think that's really where the fight was played. And then when a lot of people thought it was pretty close, I tend to lean towards the advancing party. If somebody's constantly going backwards and they're just landing kicks, and somebody's doing the same kind of strike output, but they're landing to the face. I know leg kicks hurt, I know calf kicks hurt, but obviously we talk about damage. Damage to the face is the most traumatic that we experience, right?
Right.
9 times out of 10.
I seen Shama do his little post, you know what I mean, about the fight afterwards. But you saw he was bruised up a little bit. He was touched up. And it looked like Ankalaev was touched at all on the face.
Not
right?
really.
So just looking from just a perspective where I didn't watch the fight, it looked like Alex Pereira got touched up.
One thing I'll say, too, after the fight, Ankalaev looked pretty proud of his performance. Pereira looked like he knew he lost. I think if we're being extremely lenient to Pereira, I could see 3-2, but I also could see a world where it was 4-1. The round that everybody says was really close, it was, but Pereira just didn't have a lot of moments to the face. I think it's really hard to win a fight going backwards and with leg kicks. That's really difficult to beat somebody when they're constantly tying you up, when they're punching you in the face. You know, when you think about the big moment Pereira had, like I said, I think it was in the 5th round, he landed a good head kick, had Ankalaev on, wobbly legs.
Stilts.
Yep. He landed a good hook, I want to say. And, he had Ankalaev retreating. But it just wasn't a lot of that. I think the moments were few and far between. I don't know if Pereira had an injury. I don't know if he was worried about his gas tank, but he just wasn't the initiating party. He was afraid to come. Well, I won't say afraid. He was tentative. He didn't look like he was comfortable going forward. And we don't usually see that out of him. So I think from activity, from landing more strikes to the face. And one of the things that bugged me in the fight that you see some of the commentators talking about, they're impressed with Alex Pereira's defense. But at the same point in time, not getting taken down isn't doing anything. That's preventing somebody from getting to the offense. Right. But that's not you being effective.
But with you saying that too, it seemed like, because all I did was look at the numbers, the cage control from Ankalaev was something crazy, like whole round.
He did.
Like that's wild.
He did.
Right? So what kind of defense is that? Even though you don't get taken down to the mat, you still getting control. So yeah, you got to definitely fix that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that was the thing that really changed the course of the fight. Him not really landing to the face, him not really having big moments, him retreating and not advancing as much as we're used to seeing him, and just kind of landing kicks to the body or kicks to the face. I think that ultimately is what led him to that loss. Dana spoke about them potentially running it back. I
think they should.
I would be intrigued. Yeah, that does open me to my next. So you didn't watch it, but from what I explained, do you understand how the judges kind of got to the spot they got to?
No, it makes perfect sense. He controlled the whole fight, right? The situation from, and now you're saying he outstriked them too. It's kind of crazy.
I think it was significant strikes. Don't hold me to it, like 87, 78 or something like that. It wasn't the widest difference. Maybe even 94, 78 or something. Right. But if you think about, if Pereira does what he normally does, you see somebody with marks on their face, you see them beat up, and you see them knocked out. He wasn't able to anybody, I think.
You think it was all them TikTok videos he was making in Miami? With Tammy in Miami?
You know what is crazy? I don't know if he took him as seriously. I really don't. I think he thought him being able to stop takedowns and his striking prowess. Because honestly, Pereira got beat on the feet. I saw your video with Reggie, you talking about keys to victories, don't strike with him. That's what Ankalaev did for the majority of the fight. He didn't really switch to the wrestling to the 3rd and 4th round.
Right.
I think he tried to wear him down and thought he'd be able to get him in the later rounds. Right. To Pereira's credit, he wasn't able to do that at all successfully. But it was a striking fight. It was a very boring, slow, methodical kind of kickboxing match. That's what it was. And when Pereira looked to land his kicks, Ankalaev looked to go to the hands mostly. Land teeps up the middle. He was honestly, I landed him on the feet. And, Pereira was able to kind of change the course of the 5th round, but that was it. So I would give maybe 1 and 5 Pereira, but I think that's still being lenient for that 5th.
Yeah, Shama got to lock in on the gym, man. Stop playing, bro.
So you are...
I'm dead ass.
So, no, I agree. So you would be interested in the rematch potential?
I would be. Well, star power is everything, right? What other name that comes up to the top of your mind that you want to see fight for the belt next, right? Is it Yuri? No, not for real. You know what I'm saying? Is it Jan Blachowicz? No, not for real. Let's run it back. Let's see if it's for real, right? So Shama, you know what I'm saying? Get your ass, off them press tours, because he was traveling the world doing all this, right? I think that could have caused definitely, a part of why he lost, right? And the reason why you didn't see the same type of individual with the other fights, because he was locked into the gym. So with all that being said, it's just like, it's different when you put yourself in a situation where all you're doing is training and focusing on the fight, bro. And obviously it's shown with Ankalaev, because he wasn't partying, doing presses or none of that. He was stuck in Extreme Couture putting that work in. all day.